Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson, Boxing Black History, and Boxing's Biggest Upset. Hello, fight fans. This is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7-part boxing series at nschamp7.com with another commemoration of Black History Month with a look back at what most consider the biggest upset in professional prize fighting history. James Buster Douglas, a 42-1 underdog, became the first man to defeat Iron Mike Tyson and become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world with the 10th round knockout on February 11th, 1990 in Tokyo, Japan. First off, to understand the beginning of Buster, you must first understand where it all started, and that's with Pops. William Dynamite Douglas was an aggressive light heavyweight who had a record of 42 wins, 16 defeats, with 32 knockouts. He fought 3 world champions, Marvin Johnson, Matthew Saad Muhammad, and Victor Galindez. He also faced tough Philadelphia veteran and top contender Benny Briscoe. He later owned a boxing gym in downtown Columbus, Ohio, where he introduced young James to the sport of boxing. Now, along with amateur boxing, Buster was also a standout basketball player in high school and in junior college, and was one of the top JUCO players in the country, earning an NCAA Division II scholarship, which he obviously bypassed to pursue boxing. Douglas was known as an underachieving, hot and cold type of a guy in the ring, having scored impressive wins over former world champions such as Greg Page, Trevor Burbick, and Oliver McCall, but then lose to guys like Jesse Ferguson, David Bay, and Tony Tucker, and Mike White, and 3 out of those 4 losses were by way of knockout. That's why Vegas wouldn't even open up a betting line for the fight against Tyson, and who could blame them? A 42-1 underdog against a dominant champion who was knocking everyone out. And to add injury to insult, one of the worst things that could happen to a young pro athlete before a big event. James's mom, Lula Pearl Douglas, whom he was close to, died of a stroke 23 days before the fight. Now, the pre-fight buildup was all about the meanness of Mike Tyson and his reign of terror over the heavyweight division, highlighted by his 80% knockout ratio, which was second only to fellow heavyweight champ Big George Foreman, whose knockout ratio was 91%. Douglas said before the match that he would shock the world with a victory. And this caused the wisecracking commentators of HBO who televised the fight, now particularly who comes to mind, Jim Lampley, who remarked, "He'll shock the world if he makes it to the middle rounds." Buster Douglas was 6 foot 3 inches tall and had a 12-inch reach advantage. But these attributes were ignored, with the only ringside fight observer to give him a chance of winning was famed trainer and manager Angelo Dundee. When the bell rang, Douglas showed excellent boxing skills by using a hard jab, good in and out movement to set up hard combinations, hurting Mike as early as the 2nd round. He showed no intimidation and staggered Tyson in the 5th with a left-right combo. Mike showed his lack of preparation by standing flat-footed right in front of Buster, rarely throwing combinations as opposed to his usual bobbing and weaving, fast-fisted combination punching style, which he was known for up to this point. His one bright spot was when he caught Douglas with a right uppercut late in round 8. Rounds 9 and 10, Buster continued to bust Tyson with hard combinations, culminating with an explosive right uppercut that knocked out the seemingly invincible champion late in round 10. Now, whether it was Douglas's newfound fame as he appeared on a lot of the late night talk show circuit, shows such as Letterman and The Tonight Show, or his dispute with Don King, which ended in somewhere around a $6 million buyout, he was not the same when he faced Evander Holyfield on October 25th of that same year. Seemingly out of shape, he came into the weigh-in 15 pounds heavier than when he beat Tyson. Also, when he got dropped by a hard right-hand counter from Holyfield, which in response to a lazy uppercut he threw, he showed no resiliency in beating the count in round 4, as compared to what he displayed in the 8th round when he got dropped by Tyson in what was really a harder fight. He retired from boxing after that, and then he ballooned to 400 pounds and almost died after experiencing a diabetic coma. However, he made an amazing comeback 6 years later, losing over 150 pounds, and went on to a 6-fight win streak before getting knocked out again by tough veteran contender at that time, Lou Severese. Now that was in 1998. Douglas then came back again later that year and scored 2 first-round knockouts. The second match was February of 1999. This completed his 17-and-a-half-year career as a professional boxer. Now, a final note on this. Mike Tyson was an outstanding champion who has definitely left his huge mark in the boxing world. And personally, I believe he's a great example of how one can rebound from the self-destructive forces of life that was designed to kill him. And his life has been well documented, well publicized, and on Front Street for years. However, in this commentary, I wanted to shed a little more insight into the man who, despite not having an all-time great career, he's still in the record books for scoring the biggest upset in boxing history. Once again, the former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, James Buster Douglas. So, that's it for now, folks. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, click that like and notification button and subscribe to NS Champ 7-part boxing series at nschamp7.com. And I welcome your comments as well.